Hello and welcome to Naughty Scares.
Yo quiero romper lo que hice con la negociación a la que llegué, yo quiero romperla.
Juan Ramon Saenz was a renowned Mexican radio host, best known for his work on the paranormal radio show called La Mano Peluda, The Hairy Hand. Born on October 19, 1962, Saenz initially pursued a career in law but was eventually drawn to the world of broadcasting. In 1995, he co-founded La Mano Peluda, which quickly became a national sensation, captivating audiences with eerie tales of the supernatural. Saenz's deep, resonant voice and empathetic demeanor made him a beloved figure among listeners. He had a unique ability to connect with callers, many of whom shared their most terrifying and inexplicable experiences. One of the most infamous cases he encountered was El Caso de Josue, the case of Josue, where a man named Josue Velázquez claimed to have made a pact with the demon, leading to a series of horrifying events. El Caso de Josue is one of the most chilling and infamous stories ever featured on La Mano Peluda. It all began in 2002 when a young man named Josue Velázquez called into the show from El Monte, California. Josue's story was nothing short of terrifying.
Me encontré un libro de brujería, donde decía la forma de impactar con un demonio llamado Lucifugio Rofocale. Sí. Si uno lograba hacer contacto con este demonio, que estaba bajo el dominio de Satanás, o de Belcebú, o de Lucifer, o cualquiera que sea el nombre de este, podía pedirle tantísimas cosas como bienes materiales. Mi objetivo principal era en un principio tener dinero.
And what he told Juan Ramon Saenz that night sent shivers down the spines of 15 million listeners, captivating with its dark and sinister details.
Encontré otro texto en hebreo antiguo, donde había un pacto que refería una de las maneras más usuales en la antigüedad para hacer contacto con Satanás. Empecé a orar. Me aprendí infinidad de oraciones, infinidad de rezos. Tardó como año y medio, señor, en que obtuve mis primeros resultados.
Sí. ¿Cuáles fueron los primeros resultados?
Yo en una oración donde yo estaba verdaderamente desesperado, me corté las venas. Era parte de un rito y invoqué el nombre de un demonio. Sí. Este se me apareció. Yo esperaba verlo con cuernos, esperaba verlo con cola. Sin embargo, se me apareció en un señor muy delgado. Era un señor negro, muy delgado, que se sentó junto a mí. Él me dijo, no, yo no soy el diablo. Me dijo otras cosas que no puedo decirle.
Claro.
Figúrese usted, señor, que esta persona me enseñó tantísimas cosas. Me enseñó desde cómo hechizar a un perro, cómo inducir efectos benignos o malignos a la gente. Él me dijo que yo le hiciera solo caso a él y que yo iba a poder obtener de la gente lo que yo quisiera de ellas.
Josue claimed that in a desperate attempt to escape severe financial hardship, he made a pact with a demon when he was just 16 years old. This pact promised him wealth and power, but at a terrible cost. Josue described how he had to perform horrific acts, including the sacrifice of his own grandmother, to fulfill the terms of the agreement.
La dormí, la desvestí y la empecé a cortar. Era un proceso largo, con muchas cosas, sin luz, pero sin embargo yo veía. Es impresionante ver cuando alguien se está muriendo y que tú puedes decidir en seguirle tapando la boca o dejarle entrar aire. Yo no moví mi mano.
In the dead of night, a sinister act was committed, one that earned a special ring, the Ring of King Solomon. This ancient artifact was said to grant dominion, a ring that could no longer be removed no matter how hard he tried.
Me entregaron un anillo que todavía conservo. Es un anillo llamado anillo del rey Salomón. Es un anillo de dominio.
Sí.
Para poder obtener este anillo, tenía que dar a un familiar. Y pensé en mi abuela. Yo dije, pues ella está grande, ya vivió, perdón. Y a mi abuela la maté.
The next day, when her body was picked up, there was no evidence of the foul play. Terrified, he reached out to the paranormal team of La Mano Peluda and asked for their help. The team listened intently as Josue recounted his tale, the air growing colder with each word. Josue revealed that at the tender age of 16, he made a pact with a demon, trading his soul for money and power. But with every bit of wealth and influence he gained, he paid a terrible price. Josue used his newfound powers to climb the social ladder, securing a career without finishing school and running multiple businesses in the U.S.
Actualmente soy analista bacteriólogo parasitólogo. Yo siempre quise ser eso. Y me gradué en 6 meses de una carrera que tarda 8 años.
¿Cómo hizo eso?
Y solo yo recuerdo que yo fui y le dije al director, que en ese momento era Diodoro Guerra Rodríguez, dije, señor, yo quiero hacer esta carrera ya. Y me dijo, sí, así de sencillo. Obviamente yo antes de asistir a él hice unos trabajos de hechicería.
Despite the promised riches, these were riches he couldn't even use. He could make $15,000 in a single day, but it had to be spent immediately, or it would vanish. Even worse, he couldn't help his family, the very reason he made the pact in the first place. Whenever he tried to use the money for good, he was attacked by malevolent entities. One night, after attempting to help someone, Josue was assaulted by a terrifying apparition, a woman with long black hair, wearing a dress, and with no legs. She has haunted him ever since, tormenting him whenever he tries to do good with his cursed wealth.
Sí.
Estamos realizando unos tratos para la compra de un predio, unos acres aquí en California. Y yo vi a un señor, uno de los trabajadores de una empresa de construcción que estaban ahí arreglando el terreno, diciendo que tenía muchos problemas. Yo pues sentí la necesidad de ayudarle y le di dinero. Cuando llegué a la casa, señor, inmediatamente me atacó una mujer. Esta era una mujer a la que es la primera vez que veo y que desde ese momento está aquí conmigo. Ahorita está aquí a mis espaldas.
Está con usted, ¿cómo es?
Esta es una mujer blanca, muy delgada, cabello negro como a la mitad de la espalda y no tiene pies.
Flota.
No sé si flote porque la única vez que vi que no tenía pies brincó así para el techo. Sí. Y vi que el vestido se elevó, ¿no? Y no le vi pies, pues.
José, esa mujer está ahorita como vigilando.
Aquí está atrás de mí. No quiero voltear atrás porque, fíjese, tiene una boca muy, muy grande y una lengua también bastante grande.
During his call to Juan Ramon, Josue's voice trembled as he described the woman standing right behind him. He paused to light a candle, hoping to ward off her presence. Moments later, he whispered that she was now sitting in front of him. Strange noises filled the airwaves, and Josue's voice cracked with pain. He insisted that the noises didn't scare him, but then he began to cry, pleading,
"Please, no, please."
He described a symbol in her hand, an inverted cross with an eye, and sobbed, saying he was told that seeing this symbol meant he would die.
No, se están escuchando, por ejemplo, muchos ruidos ahorita. Eso es común, eso no me espanta. Lo que me espanta es lo que trae en la mano.
¿Qué trae en la mano?
No, espérate. Oh, por Dios, soy so much. Me tranquilicé. Le digo, tengo en mi poder este anillo que me dieron, con lo que puedo dominar muchas cosas. Trae en la mano es un símbolo, no sé cómo se llama, pero les explicaré cómo es. Es una punta como si fuese de flecha, que trae como si fuese una cruz cristiana invertida, y en el puño trae un ojo de cristal o algo así. Y yo sé que eso es muy malo porque a mí me dijeron que cuando yo viera eso me iba a morir. Lo que vi esa mujer se me acercó y me empezó a besar y me empezó a tocar, me empezó así como si fuera, no sé, su novio, un comportamiento, sí me explico,
claro,
¿verdad?
Un comportamiento sexual.
Bueno, después me dijo que yo tenía que hacer ciertas cosas con ella en esa ocasión, pues porque yo había dadole dinero a esa persona, ¿no? Y que yo bien sabía que ya eran muchas las veces que yo cometía errores y que ya eran muchas las veces en que yo por otras, yo lo remediaba por otras cosas y que eso ya no se me iba a tolerar más.
Juan Ramon Saenz later recounted that the call started like any other, but as Josue's stories unfolded, the room grew unnaturally cold. When Juan and a priest began reading from the Bible, the page they were reading curled up on its own, and one of their laptops exploded. Josue also reported hearing disembodied voices and whispers, often calling his name or mocking him. These voices would sometimes escalate into loud, terrifying screams that seemed to come from nowhere. The entity's physical attacks were perhaps the most disturbing. Josue described being scratched, pushed, and even choked by an invisible force. On several occasions, he woke up with bruises and cuts on his body, evidence of the entity's violent nature. The attacks were particularly severe whenever Josue attempted to break the terms of his pact or help others with his wealth. The story took an even darker turn when, 9 years later, Juan Ramon Saenz met with Josue for a television special. This meeting was intended to document Josue's ongoing struggles and the impact of his pact. Rumors had swirled about Josue's death or disappearance, adding to the tension. Josue chose the secretive meeting location, revealing it only minutes before. He greeted everyone with his left hand, avoiding eye contact, except with Juan Ramon, with whom he greeted with his right hand. Josue carried a human femur adorned with human hair and other items, claiming it held the dead's energy. He wore a fur over his chest and a black glove on his right hand, hiding the ring. Mario Estrada, present at the interview, noted Juan Ramon's unusual nervousness. Juan Ramon, visibly uncomfortable, kept his hand over his stomach, over the belly button, a gesture to ward off negative energy. During the interview, Josue spoke of a final ritual to remove King Solomon's ring. He admitted to dark deeds for personal gain and regretted his descent into darkness. He shook violently at times, which Juan Ramon attributed to attacks by dark entities. Days after the interview, Juan Ramon died from a sudden gastrointestinal infection. This event led many to believe that the dark forces surrounding Josue were far more powerful and dangerous than anyone had realized.
Ramón Saenz las manos al vientre. También yo llegué a sentir una molestia en mi estómago. Una hernia que me dio problemas.
Me fui a descansar y cuando yo iba ya hacia mi casa, iba manejando normal, tranquilo, las calles prácticamente vacías, porque pues después de la medianoche no hay mucho tráfico como en cualquier ciudad. Y de pronto sale un carro detrás de mí, pero se me cierra muy bruscamente, pero no vi ningún carro que estuviera cercano, y de pronto salió y me descontroló porque se me cerró muy fuerte y fui a chocar contra un poste. Yo, la verdad, sí estaba un tanto asustado porque estábamos en medio de la nada y bueno, ahí no había ni para dónde correr porque era agua lo que teníamos alrededor.
Inclusive cuando nos estábamos moviendo en la embarcación, me estaba desplazando con mucho cuidado porque yo sentía que en cualquier momento me iban a arrojar hacia el agua. Entonces como que tenía yo un límite, no meterte más allá de cierta distancia de donde estaban ellos.
Mario Estrada survived a near-fatal car accident, and cameraman Luis Ernesto Gonzalez required surgery for a painful hernia on his abdomen. Luis noted Juan Ramon's bizarre behavior during the interview.
Y es que cuando me reúno con Juan Ramón, fusionamos cosas y llamamos cosas.
Hemos visto, Juan Ramón, que Josue en algún momento tiene que parar la entrevista porque, pues bueno, recibe alguna especie de ataques.
Sí, son ataques energéticos que para...
If you watched the last video with Facundo and the little girl in the cemetery, you can see the huge contrast in how Juan Ramon conducted interviews. His body language in great contrast to the interview with Josue. He looks like he doesn't feel well, dizzy, trying to protect his energy. People online are also comparing his death to that of Laura Rivas, who also passed away due to stomach medical issues, making the connection of death possibly caused by dark energies. Mario later interviewed Josue alone, asking if he caused the deaths and injuries. Honestly, the balls on this guy, because wow, he is brave.
Decidimos reunirnos nuevamente con Josue Velázquez y aclarar las sorprendentes coincidencias. Una vez que llegamos, lo primero que notamos fue la ausencia del guante que antes cubría su mano derecha y que le impedía saludarnos normalmente. Pero lo que no había cambiado era el sentimiento de temor y la incertidumbre que todos los miembros del equipo sentíamos al estar en la presencia del exsatanista Josue Velázquez.
Es difícil pararme frente a ti y preguntarte así tan claramente si tú no tuviste nada que ver con la muerte de Juan Ramón o con mi accidente del cual conservo este triste recuerdo.
Sí, lo sé, me siento triste por todos los sentimientos negativos que se pudieron haber generado.
Quiero hacer una pregunta que tal vez te pueda sonar muy directa, no sé si agresiva. Juan Ramón y el pastor Guaso, las dos personas más cercanas a ti en todo este proceso, al menos que nosotros estuviéramos enterados. ¿Tú tuviste que ver con la muerte de ellos?
No necesariamente. Era un cúmulo de energías malas. Sí existe la posibilidad de que su estado de energía de ellos permitiera el ingreso de estas cosas.
Pero no fue tu voluntad lo que ellos les...
Exactamente, pero no fue un deseo mío, o jamás lo promoví. En los rituales jamás se buscó eso. Eran personas que ya estaban débiles y que se vieron vulnerables a energías, luego digo en caso de Juan Ramón Saenz, de otra gente. O sea, la muerte de Juan Ramón es voluntad de otra gente.
Entonces, sí hay una voluntad detrás de esto, no tuya, nos aclaras, pero sí fue por un trabajo.
Era desaparecerlo. O sea, Juan Ramón querían Sí, pero verlo muerto.
Y en el caso mío y el del camarógrafo que fue intervenido quirúrgicamente.
Debo decir y sí aceptar que pues fue tu presencia y no estar protegido adecuadamente lo que generó. O sea, pero déjame de explicarte nuevamente. No es algo que uno provocara o que uno generara. Si tú te acercas al fuego, forzosamente te vas a calentar.
Josue denied direct involvement, blaming others' witchcraft and the dark entities around him. The mystery surrounding Saenz's death on May 29, 2011 has only added to his legend. Officially, he died of respiratory arrest caused by a gastrointestinal infection. However, many believe there was something far more sinister at play. Conspiracy theories suggest that Saenz was cursed or that he fell victim to a malevolent force unleashed during his interactions with Josue. Some fans of La Mano Peluda believe that the show itself was cursed, pointing to the untimely deaths of other hosts and guests. The chilling atmosphere of the show, combined with the real-life tragedies that befell those involved, has led many to speculate about the true nature of the forces Saenz encountered. Juan Ramon Saenz's son recently appeared in a podcast. He shared some intriguing insights about his father's life and death. He mentioned that Juan Ramon Saenz was known for his sensitivity to the supernatural. His son mentioned that Saenz had been undergoing cleansings with shamans since childhood to manage his gift and protect himself for negative energies. Saenz's son remains uncertain about the true cause of his father's death, but the timing is highly suspicious. Just days after interviewing Josue Velasquez, Juan Ramon died. Could it be that Josue, desperate to rid himself of the darkness he carried, made another pact with the devil? During his call to La Mano Peluda, Josue mentioned seeing the symbol of an inverted cross with an eye in the middle, a sign of his impending death. Perhaps he exchanged his life for that of Juan Ramon's? In their final interview, Josue stated that whenever he and Juan Ramon met, energies would shift. At that time, Juan Ramon appeared ill and uncomfortable, yet he pushed through the interview professionally. Was this all part of Josue's plan? He sought help from Juan Ramon, knowing his kind heart would compel him to assist. Did Josue feel the strong power Juan Ramon had from hosting La Mano Peluda? These are merely questions, as only Josue knows the truth. He has consistently denied any direct involvement in Juan Ramon's death, a stance he maintains as of recently. We will surely miss Juan Ramon, a true pioneer in the paranormal world. His fans will keep his memory alive, never forgetting such a powerful figure. Oh, and if you find yourself asking, what happened to the ring? Remember Josue mentioned the series of rituals performed so that he could finally be able to remove the ring? Well, the ritual that had been scheduled, the last one, happened, and it was an event that Juan Ramon had been looking forward to. The release of Josue, the man that had asked for his help from almost a decade prior. Unfortunately, Juan Ramon had passed prior to the ritual. Josue said that if the ritual had failed yet again, and if he was unable to take off the ring, they would have had to cut off his hand, a last resort that didn't need to happen since he was able to finally remove it, allowing him to greet people normally without the use of the glove, among other things, probably. What are your thoughts about this case? Could it really just all be a coincidence? Unfortunate timings? I know I have trust issues, but dang. Alright, my spooky babes, I'm going to go relax and watch some true crime, okay? Bye! Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. if you want. I mean, you don't have to. It's only if you want to. I mean, I'm not trying to force you or anything. It's only if you want to.